Guys, before we begin, I'm going to pose you a simple yet hard to accept truth. Art is subjective. Hear me out, because I know some of you guys want to jump me right now just for saying that. But listen, I don't think bad movies can exist. Because almost everything that is art is made with passion. Okay, well, most of the time. I think every movie has things that it excels at and things that it could do better with. And let's be honest, bad movies have a certain charm to them. And with that brings me to the topic at hand. Hurry Up Tomorrow. This movie is being hated on in every single corner of the internet. Bro, I have not been able to escape any memes or comments absolutely roasting this man and his acting. And me personally, I'm a devil's advocate. When I see something being so hated on, I immediately try my best to like it. Cause I really have to wonder, is this movie really that bad? Or do people just like being dramatic? So I watched this movie 3 different times and I want to offer you a different perspective on what people may have roasted this movie for. But yes, you may or may not have already seen the movie by yourself, or maybe you've just seen the memes. But regardless, I wanted to give you a bit of an animated recap and I want to give you my thoughts throughout it. Cause at the end of the day, there's no such thing as perfect art. Even the best of the best will be boring to someone. So yeah, let's begin. So the movie starts off with these colors floating around and a voicemail from a woman speaking. And she's saying, I used to think you're a good person, but now I know that's not true. Because a good person wouldn't have done that to someone they love. You don't care about anyone but yourself. Yikes. Yeah, it sounds like he's the problem. And listen, my delivery didn't do it justice. This voicemail sounded emotional. Anyway, we then slowly zoom out of this eyeball and then we see Abel, aka The Weeknd. And he starts blowing raspberries. I'm not sure why that helps him calm down, but it makes me cackle every time I see it, So we're basically witnessing him kinda hyping himself up. He takes a breath of his inhaler, chugs a bit of alcohol, and he keeps going with his raspberries. Then he walks away, checking his phone. Then he calls his ex again while lifting weights in the mirror. And of course she doesn't pick up. No surprise there. So after he's done hyping himself up, he heads for the stage. And we see him on stage and they're playing his song. Nothing too crazy happens, but we do see him put on a facade of confidence that we didn't see backstage. The only relevant part of the concert is the part where he does that tongue flicking thing. Like, bro, please stop. I beg you. I think we're all begging you. That is the only thing I will agree with everyone. He needs to stop that. Okay, but I do have to say, the visuals are eating down. I do like that. And then we cut to Jenna Ortega's character, and her name is Anima? Anima? More like Anima? Yeah. Okay, sorry to all the Animas out there. I'm sorry. She's pouring gasoline all over her home. She's sobbing and crying. And we see her running out of the house, crying even harder. She gets in her car and drives away. And we see in the background that this girl has burned her entire house down. First of all, you're doing that in this economy? Girl, just hand me over the keys to the house. Why are you burning it down? Like, just give it to me. Then we see Anima pull up to a gas station and she's bumping it to one of Weeknd's songs. So she's a fan. Anyway, she steals someone else's gas. Meanwhile, Abel is getting absolutely freaked up in a car with these girls and his manager. And everything is spinning around and it's overstimulating. There's bright lights, loud music, screaming. And he goes to a party and it's the same thing. Side note, a party is really like this because everyone just seems so sweaty and it seems so loud and overstimulating. I really don't get the hype. Someone please explain it to me. But anyways, so there's this moment where he slows down at the party and he panics. And he's looking for Lee, his manager, and he's getting just as overstimulated as we are. And then they cut to his house, presumably his house or like a hotel, I don't know. And Lee's out here putting things in his nose that he shouldn't be putting in. Stay away from drugs, kiddos. He's kissing girls and he's humping the ground. And all while that's happening, Timeless is playing in the background, which, can I just say, it's an absolute banger. Meanwhile, Abel is in a room alone playing the keyboard and doing the devil's lettuce. And he's really in his lonely boy hours right now, and he's listening to the voice note he got earlier from his ex, where she's telling him he's a problem. So yeah, he's looking really dead inside right now. Then we randomly cut to the specialist. They're showing his entire throat to see, and they tell him he has MTD, which is muscle tension dysphonia. How about you empty these nuts? Right? 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 And the doctor says he'll go away through rest, and that it's probably happening because he's under stress, probably because of his ex. And you know, a normal person, when they hear that, they're gonna be like, okay, you know what? Let me rest. Let me relax. Let me try to get over this situation. But of course, the one thing this man does not do is rest or get over his ex. I mean, me personally, you wouldn't have to tell me twice. In fact, you wouldn't even have to tell me because you'd be doing the examination while I'm in bed getting my rest. That's just me personally though, so. Anyway, Anima wakes up in her car and she has 5 missed calls from her mom. Bro, if her mom sees her, it's on site. And also she has the Weeknd as her phone background. Girl, I see you. And then she pulls up this picture and she's looking at it, and it's a picture of her mom holding her as a baby. But I just have to wonder, like, you really burned that house down while you're looking very emotional while looking at this photo. Like, I don't, like, girl, what is the psychology here? You know what I'm saying? And it's only gonna get more confusing when she actually explains her backstory, so just keep this in mind, okay? Like, it's just already weird. So she's driving a long way while still bumping it to Abel's songs, and meanwhile, Abel is in a plane while he's getting leaned up with Lee. Side note, Leaned Up with Lee sounds like a good podcast name, so anyone named Lee, you can thank me later. And Lee is telling Abel to relax and everything, but other than that, I cannot give you specifics of what this man is saying. Every time he talks, all I hear is like, guys, there were no subtitles in the cinema, so I had no idea what this man is saying. So forgive me, I know he just has a little bit of an accent, but I think whatever he said in this movie is just between him and God and no one else. Anyway, Abel is so down bad, bro. He is begging Lee to call his ex, bro. He's like, please, please, please. And Lee resists at first, but ultimately he falls. And then he calls her, and of course, she doesn't pick up. No surprise. She wasn't picking up to begin with, so. And Abel is big sad because of that, but I'm guessing Lee is just trying to cheer him on. I don't know what he's saying. He's still, you know, so I'm guessing he's just trying to cheer him up. Then we see Abel in a bathtub and he's having some sort of weird flashbacks. He crashes out and decides to open up his ex's chats, text a picture of them together, and begs her to text him back. Guys, once again, if you ever find yourself being this down bad, texting a picture of you both when you were together, pack it up. Pack it up, bro. Like, it cannot get this bad. And while he's yapping, trying to get her back through a voicemail, we see Anima entering the concert and moving through the crowd. Meanwhile, bro is backstage still sobbing over his ex minutes before he has to get on stage. Lee comes up to him, he's all like while he's crashing out on the floor. Me personally, if I heard him say all of that, that would make me more upset. Abel tells him to pull the plug on the concert, and Lee says no. Obviously he says no. And Lee's like, oh, it's cause of that girl, right? Just say it. Abel's like, no, it's cause I can't sing. He's like, just lip sync. Abel's like, I can't sing. Bro, but Lee just told you to lip sync though. Like, that's a valid solution to the problem. But okay, I'll just ignore that. And after a bit of convincing, and once again putting things in your nose that you're not supposed to put, he manages to convince him to get on stage. We even get a bit of backstory for Lee. We find out how Abel supported Lee when he dropped out of high school, had no money, and came to this whole new place on his own. And this would be kind of a touching, emotional backstory, but I still don't really care about Lee. Anyway, we officially see Abel crashing out. Like, it went from 0 to 100. And he's punching the air, he's screaming, he's calling his ex. He's all like, pick up now. I know you're laughing at me right now, aren't you? Everyone told me to stay away from you. Lee told me, my mom did too, but you got me. You did this to me, and I still effing love you. And all of this is happening while they're all dressing him up and like combing his hair. And then he walks away and he screams, "I'm still here. You'll be forgotten, but I'm still a legend. You're a nobody, and I'm an icon." And then he throws the phone at the mirror and cracks it. You know, it's kind of crazy to think that him breaking his phone is probably a minor convenience. He can just buy a new one the next day. Like, I kind of aspire to be like that, so. But yeah, it feels like a bit of an overreaction to someone who didn't even pick up the call and is considering you the problem, so I'm just saying. Anyway, he gets on stage and Anima is watching him from the sidelines. Now keep in mind, baby girl got front row tickets, so she doesn't have the money to pay gas and she has to steal that. But she got front row tickets? Like, girl, seriously? I'm getting irritated right now. So he's performing and it's going well. He's got his little confident facade back on and he's singing and singing and singing. Wake me up! That was my best attempt at a voice crack. But yeah, he basically has a voice crack and it feels a bit embarrassing, but bro tries to make a recovery. He still tries to sing again, but his voice cracks again. And Anima is staring in shock, babe. Like, she is just watching. The crowd is silent. And then he makes eye contact with her. She's having her Wattpad moment. They are both staring at each other back and forth. And then he zooms away. Now, I don't know how, but Anima manages to escape security and she runs outside, and that's where Abel runs off too. Like, he's in some sort of hidden back area type thing, and then they both find each other. And security tries to stop her, but Abel's like, wait, she's good, it's fine. Anyway, they're face to face. I mean, guys, this is literally Wattpad right here. Maybe we all do have some hope, guys. And he's like, hey, I saw you. And she's like, yes. He's like, do you want to come with me? And she nods. And then they get in the car and they're having like a little romantic car ride, which it feels kind of weird because she is and looks 22 and he looks and is 35, so. But I'll just ignore that for now. He says, do I know you? It feels like we met before. And she says, I know what you mean. Then they go to this random amusement park thing and everyone's dressed up. Anima and Abel have masks on. They play a bit of air hockey, go on a roller coaster, watch the ocean together. Basically, they're enjoying each other's company. And then they drive back to his hotel. Anyway, they're in the hotel room and he shows her one of his unfinished songs. Guys, I wish I could understand what the hell he was saying in that song, but I had no subtitles, so I was doing my best here. But I don't think it's that important, so it's fine. But I want you to keep this scene in mind, okay? Because this is where my brain really expanded. Because she tears up hearing it. And she says how she relates and she's low dropping a bit, okay? She says, when I was a kid, my dad left me. And my mom raised me alone. And we were really broke. And it was really, really difficult. Now I had to pause. I had to pause on this because you're telling me you and your mom were both broke, but you still burned that damn house down and you bought yourself front row tickets to the Weeknd's concert. Girl, tell me how this makes sense. You tell me how this makes sense. Like, in a weird way, it kind of does make sense because it shows how freaking delusional this girl is for the Weeknd. But on the other hand, like, in this economy, like, how are you gonna do that? And why? Like, I wish I knew why. I'm just gonna give you a spoiler now. We are never gonna find out why she even did that to begin with. It would have been interesting to know why, but we don't know. So, anyway. And he gives her a hug, and I'm assuming they slept together. They didn't really show it, but that's my best assumption. Which, I know maybe a lot of people might not agree with me on this, but I'm just glad he did not over-sexualize this thing. Like, it was just a implication because the idol was the complete opposite, so I'm glad we just got to the point with this. And in the middle of this, he tells her, don't ever leave me. Which is an odd thing to say to a fan you just met, but okay. Anyway, after everything is said and done, he wakes up and he's getting his phone blown up by texts and calls from everyone on earth, bro. Then Abel and Anima are having breakfast together and she's very eagerly looking at him, but he's just on his phone, texting people casually, ignoring her. Oh, this is giving me flashbacks, bro. Then he walks away to get a drink, and then she gets a call from her mom, but she ignores it. And now we get into one of the most cringe-worthy scenes, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't even the iconic scene that we are thinking about, it's this scene, okay? So she asks him, so where to next? He's like, the doctor to make sure my voice is okay, and then wherever this tour takes me. I think it's Australia. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's really beautiful there. I always wanted to go. Yeah, you should go. Oh my god, the second-hand embarrassment I got. You know she wanted him to invite her so bad, bro. Like, guys, once again, if you ever find yourself begging someone to take you, just back it up. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Save yourself the self-respect, okay? So then she just picks up her call from her mom, and her mom is whooping her ass virtually. She is like, how could you do this? You destroy everything you touch. Which valid, and Anima is crying, girl. Also, can I just say, Jenna ate down, bro. She is a great actress. I felt the ugly cry coming out of me when I saw her ugly cry, you know? Abel has his bag all packed up and he's just awkwardly staring at her cry, but also staring at their front door. Are you okay? Why do you look so freaked out? Not freaked out, just checking if you're good. Well, you don't look worried, you just look scared. Oh, sorry, I don't know how I'm supposed to look. Why are you doing this? You're ruining this. I'm not doing anything. Listen, I gotta go. Okay, so take me with you. Oh girl, the cringe for her is just getting worse and worse. Also, I'm sorry, but we just jumped from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, what do you mean take me with you? Where is this coming from? So they have a bit of a back and forth, and he's trying to comfort her while she's crashing out. She's saying all sorts of things. She's like, I just want to help you, but you're not letting me help you. And she goes on and on and on with this until that iconic scene that everyone's been talking about happens. Shut the F up! Shut up! What are you doing? I have calls. I gotta go. And right after he says that, he turns to leave and she grabs a bottle and just slams it against his head, which, let's be honest, kinda deserved. Anyway, he has this weird nightmare sequence. It's not too crazy, but basically, the world is empty, he sees this crusty girl alone, she jump scares him. And also, I didn't appreciate that because me and my friend were watching this in a cinema alone and we were grabbing onto each other, bro, like we were scared. And then he sees his younger self who starts singing something that I admittedly have no idea where it's from, but it sounds foreign. Anyway, then he does just wake up for real, and that's when he realizes he's tied up. And usually to most people this would be kind of exciting, but under these circumstances, yeah, it's not kind of exciting anymore. But yeah, as much as I want to defend this movie, this scene is just so ridiculous that I feel like laughing just explaining it. Like so Anima's the one that tied him up, and she comes up to him and she's like, I want you to just be honest, just talk to me and tell me the truth and I'll set you free. But I'm just thinking, like, tell the truth about what? Like, I have no idea, but you know, it sounds like a good deal, right? Like, tell the truth and be free, like, sounds great. But they're just screaming at each other back and forth, and I'm like, girl, is it really that hard to be honest? Like, and then she gets up. Okay, I want you to let me hold your hand while I tell you what happens. She gets up and she's like, alright, I'm gonna do some tracks. She's standing in front of him and she starts playing Blinding Lights, aka his song. And she tells him, I'm gonna start playing Blinding Lights. It's an undeniable hit. You hear this and it feels like you're entering our party and you don't have to care about anything else. But it is very emotional. And guys, she just dances to this entire song straight. And I was just confused, to say the least. Like, I did not see this. I just witnessed this firsthand and I was speechless. But to say the least, I was entertained. And she keeps asking him these questions like, so what's the inspiration with this? Where's the pain coming from?
Is it about one of your exes? She was different, wasn't she? You let her in. You loved her. Then you hurt her. And then she broke your heart. You want to talk about that? The way you treated them? The way you treated me?
Clearly, this man did not want to talk about that, so she was like,
Alright, I'm doing another song.
and then she starts dancing again. And then keeps asking more random questions about him and the song. And then she leans in and she's like asking him to be honest, and he doesn't. So she's like, okay, next song. And he's like, no, please, no. Then we hear a knocking on the door, and it's Lee. He's on the door like, so she answers the door saying no one is in here, but he says he tracked Abel's phone, so he knows he's in there. So she tries to shut the door on him. He breaks in. They have a bit of a fight, and she pokes him in the neck with a sharp object, if you get what I'm saying. So R.I.P. Lee, he was kind of irrelevant. I didn't really care about him, so it's fine. She goes back to Abel and she's crying beside him, and she's like, bro, please just be honest. And she's kind of over it at this point. She pulls out the gasoline. First of all, what is up with her and gasoline, bro? Like, I don't even know. So she pulls it out, she pours it all over him, and at this point, bro is over it, bro. Like, why is this man willing to do anything except tell the damn truth? Bro, like, you are about to be set on fire and you would rather be on fire rather than tell the truth. I have nothing to say. Like at this point, I'd be telling her how damn bad I am for Lightning McQueen, bro. There will be no secrets left between me and her. Anyway, then guess what? Bro finally decides to be honest. And he does that by singing. Long story short, he sings the lyrics to Hurry Up Tomorrow. And y'all, Anima's face, I know she's supposed to be emotional right now, but she looks so annoyed at this man. Like, it's so funny. And let me just say, I don't understand lyrics. I don't know Weeknd as a person, as a hardcore fan. I listened to him in the 9th grade, so I don't exactly understand what's going on here. But I hear his lyrics. I hear it. And you know, some of the lyrics are like apologizing to his mom, how she tried to fill the hole inside him that his father left. But I'm just wondering, like, girl, if you cause problems with your ex and you're causing toxic relationships, are you supposed to be apologizing to your mom or the girls that you caused issues with? You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. I don't know the lore. If you guys know the lore, let me know. Anyway, that was good enough for her. So she untied the cord plugs she used to tie him with. Seriously? Cord plugs? He could have escaped that so easily. Like, she did not even knot it or anything. Like, bro was fighting for his life for no reason. Like, damn. And then she sets the room on fire. And guys, I'm sorry, but why are they making the hotel staff deal with this? Like, these people are not getting paid enough and you are setting the entire room on fire. How are they gonna pay for this, bro? Also, are we gonna forget about the fact that Lee's unalive body is getting real crispy right now in the room? They all just forgot about him? Okay. Well, anyway, Abel walks out of the room and into the hotel hallway and goes straight back into the concert dressing room where it all started, and the movie just ends. So, guys, if I had one word to describe how I felt by the end of the movie, I would say confused. Like, was this a substance-induced vision? Was it a nightmare? Was she an illusion? I don't really have an idea. But okay, I still want to give this movie a chance and try to defend it. Because as confused as this movie was, I still think it gets much more hate than it deserves. So let's just get into it, okay? Let's just talk about it. First things first, I know people have been complaining about The Weeknd's acting a lot, and to me personally, it wasn't as bad as people were talking about. I know that line, you know, the shut the F up line was a big meme and everything, but to be honest, while watching the movie, I'm pretty sure that's just the way he talks. Like, he just naturally sounds a bit fruity. He sounds like Michael Jackson. Like they both are very soft-spoken people, so I wouldn't hate on him for that. But I will say when he had to act sad during the movie, it was kind of giving toddler at the mall who isn't getting what they want more than actual heartbreak. So I would agree on that. He could tweak that a bit. And he had some really good moments. Like, he really nailed that dead inside look, bro. Like, I felt that. I feel like I'm not gonna hate on him for that. I feel like it can be a learning journey. You know, like, a lot of people are saying he can't act, but like, that's just unfair to say, you know? I think the man can learn. And this is my criticism for the movie. I think the plot and the characters were not fleshed out as they could have been. Because when I read the bio, it says, plagued by insomnia, a musician gets pulled into a nightmarish odyssey with a stranger who begins to unravel the very core of his existence. As much as I want to defend this movie, that bio is an insane over exaggeration. It's kind of giving the same vibe of like swiping someone on a dating app and they say they're like 6'2", and then you meet them in person and they're just three kids stacked up in a person's coat. That's literally the exact same vibe. I didn't even know this man was an insomniac. I'm just discovering that right now with you from the bio. So yeah, the characters being left unexplored is kind of disappointing to me, especially like Anima, because she's out here burning her mama house like while she's broke. Like, why is she doing that? Like, we could have had a whole exploration of why she's losing her damn mind, and we could have explored more into Abel's relationships, and honestly we could have made Lee a bit more interesting because that man is just so boring. Like, this man is so irrelevant, and everyone had complaints about the movie being too self-centered. I didn't feel that way. I know a lot of shows that have the writer and the director as the main actor, and they do really good. Like, some of my favorite shows are shows like that. The only time I can see the self-centered criticism thing making sense is because of the Anima scene where she's dancing around to his music and saying how much of an undeniable hit it is. That I get the point, because how else are you supposed to portray a crazed fan? But also, who the hell talks like that? Who the hell talks like that? So, I don't know, I'm 50-50 on that. And yeah, another one of the negative things was the whole ending. Like, the whole part where Anima has Abel tied up and is begging him to tell the truth and forces him to sit through his own music. I don't understand what was the point. I'm not a Weeknd fan, so I went with this with your eyes. But yeah, I just found that very confusing. And the fact that, like, was Anima supposed to be a vision? I don't know what she was supposed to be. Maybe that's part of the fun mystery of it. Like, at the starting scene, I wish he took some sort of substance and then it would all just come full circle at the end. Like, oh, this was just a vision that the substance gave him. Maybe I have just not thought about it enough. So far, I didn't really understand after the 3 times I watched it. So, now guys, let's talk about the positives. The visuals look really nice to me, like especially how the concert went, especially how the car rides felt, like the music felt good. Like, I could feel a bit of that emotion that you'd feel like being with someone new, someone you like. So I think they did that well. And like I said before, I think it's a very interesting concept. I think it could have been so much better if he just dived deeper into all the characters. And I wish he did not spend so much time dragging the intro in. Like, I felt like the intro was 40 minutes long. It could have been cut down so much shorter to spend more time on the characters and their stories. But yeah, like, it was also cute seeing how Anima and Abel had fun during the little amusement park thing, like going on their little roller coaster. Also, I really liked Anima's acting. I felt like she was not given that much to work with the dialogues, but I think she really did the best she could. I think Abel did the best he could as well. Like, he felt whatever he was saying, he really believed it, he felt it, and he acted it out. And Lee really said something, like, you know, whatever he said it. So guys, if I were to give this movie a rating, I would say it's a 3 out of 5. Like, I watched this movie 3 times and I didn't find myself being bored or annoyed by watching it. So it kept me entertained, but I also had no clue what was going on every single time I watched it. But yeah, I think that is kind of my overall feeling of the movie. I never want to give any movie a complete 0 out of 10 or a complete 10 out of 10. Like there's always some goods or bads, and I wish the internet would feel that way too, because everyone's just dogpiling on the same sentiment because like it's popular, but like everything has some nuance to it, you know. And I wanted to take this moment to say that if you are passionate about something and you genuinely want to do something, but you're just scared of people making fun of you or it not being perfect, you need to get up and just do it. I mean, I'll be real with you, this man made an entire movie and it feels like the entire world is laughing at him, right? But I can respect the fact that he actually tried. Like half the people who are making fun of him, let's be real, they're sitting on their couch and they have not even attempted to do half the things he has done. But yeah, this man is a billionaire. I don't think he needs my defending. But I wanted to make this more of a heart-to-heart with you, the audience. The people who are making fun of you are always the one who cannot even do half the things you're doing right now, because there's so much effort and planning and so much going on behind the scenes to make it happen. And even if there are flaws to it, at least he made it happen. So I get annoyed when people say like, oh, he should just get back into singing, like this is not something he can do, because let him try, bro. Like he can try, even if it's like bad or good, like let the man try. Like God forbid you actually make something you might be passionate about, because I want you to keep trying. Just do whatever makes you happy, even if it looks like crap, because the people making fun of you are still just going to be sitting on their couch making fun of you, and you're actually going to be trying and trying and trying, and you're gonna get there. So they can sit there and laugh while you're out there making success and bang for yourself, baby. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to defend this movie, because I wanted to defend something that was being hated on by everyone. And maybe some of you guys will disagree with the points I said, but like I said, at the end of the day, this man tried, and I'm respecting the fact that he tried, and I'll respect anyone else who tries as well. But yeah, take care and have fun.